Your personal brand is your reputation, and it's also your biggest asset. Today we're going to be talking about how to build a personal brand even if you've got 0 followers. So how do we do that? First of all, we got to understand what a personal brand is. Your personal brand is a combination of your experiences, values, and skills, right? And it basically is your personality, who you are as a person, what do you stand for, what makes you different from everyone else's competitors. Are you shy? Are you reserved? Are you talkative? Are you hyperactive? Do you have a learning disability? Do you have maybe an experience that a lot of people can relate with? Do you have trauma that helped you realize who you are as a person and was the starting point in you finding yourself? So there are all these things. Are you religious? Are you not religious? So a personal brand is basically who you are. It's a reflection of who you are. One of the things in that's so critical is once you understand what a personal brand is, it basically makes it so much easier to build one because you're just building who you are as a person. The next part is how do you discover your niche? First of all, you got to understand what a niche is. Niches are basically a segment in the marketplace. Think of things like fitness, health, wellness, relationships, productivity, personal development, business, coaching. So it's important for you to identify what your values and expertise are in order for you to find your niche. I did a video recently talking about how to find a profitable niche. It's important to use things like Google Trends, but also to use things that you're passionate about. There's no point in going into something that you're not passionate about. For example, if you are not passionate about learning about developing relationships, romantic relationships, that is the worst niche you get into because you're going to get super, super bored. However, right, if you're passionate about things like productivity or personal development, you could just find a smaller segment in that because personal development is massive, right? Maybe it could be something on minimalism, okay, right? Or something to do with organization or something to do with mindset or, like how to build your confidence. Finding something within a large niche or large segment helps you figure out how to stand out in a crowded marketplace. A great way also is to use Google Trends. Now, if you're looking, like I said, at popular niches, just to give you an idea, wellness, health, relationships, productivity, those are huge. The next thing you need to focus on is crafting your brand identity. Now, one of the things that a lot of people mess up right in the beginning is not having a consistent style and a consistent color scheme. So it's important for you to have a consistent color scheme and a consistent brand identity. And the best way to get the color scheme, is to go to a place called colors, right? There you'll be able to find colors that actually mesh well together. Another thing is you got to create compelling content. People might be interested in who you are, but if your content is boring, then people are going to log off a lot sooner. So it's so critical for you to create compelling content, and you create it on places like social media, your blog, videos, okay? Facebook is another one. And this is how people get to know you. Years ago, I remember hearing this thing where they said, content is king. But here's the thing, quality content is king. Now, if your content isn't quality, you're going to lose a lot of people. So you're going to make sure that you create compelling content that people are going to resonate with and want to stick around for. Another aspect on this is basically storytelling. A lot of us, we love stories. I mean, remember as a kid watching your favorite movie and then recalling it or telling it to your friends and, or the teacher or your parents. Remember how engaged you were in telling that story. People love stories. People connect with people who tell stories. Telling stories paints a picture of who you are as a person, but also paints a picture of what you're trying to tell. So you're going to have to make sure your stories are clear, that they're precise, and that the audience is able to relate to those stories. But not only that, that your stories have a message. Think about famous YouTubers, whether it is Think Media or Ali Abdul. Look at their storytelling techniques, or Vesalau. Their storytelling techniques allows you to engage with them and allows you to keep going and watching their videos. The way they capture the scene, the way they use B-roll, the way they mesmerize you with their content, the way they paint a vivid picture you keep wanting to go back because you are interested in knowing more. You're interested in learning from them because they are alive. They are people. I mean, imagine going onto YouTube and watching a video of someone who sounded like a drone. Like, no facial expressions, no stories, you know, plain and simple, and getting absolutely bored. Most people would log off because no one wants that, right? No one wants that. All right. So the other point is, how do you build your presence? First of all, you got to choose the right platform. The right platform is all about you. Now, the right platform is basically where you're going to put the majority of your content. So you got to decide whether in the beginning you're going to stick to blogging, or is it going to be YouTube or a podcast. And the reason for this is that if you try to do everything at the same time in the beginning, you're going to get super, super stressed. So it's so critical that you start small. It's so critical that you start with one platform. When I started with blogging because naturally I'm a writer. As I progressed, I went on and decided to do YouTube. So it depends on what you excel at. Are you good at writing, or do you love writing? Are you good at talking, right? Or are you good at being on camera? All of those things require different personalities. A podcaster can go and become a YouTuber, but a blogger at times will not be able to be a podcaster and a YouTuber. Not in the beginning, because writing requires a different skill set. Whereas with podcast and YouTube, it's pretty much the same thing. Just one is more of video style, okay, and the other one is more voice style. So it depends on who you are as a person. Okay, so once you do that, you then have to figure out the platforms that you're going to promote your content on. Is it going to be Instagram? Is it going to be Pinterest? Is it going to be TikTok? Is it going to be LinkedIn or Facebook? Now, the reason for this is that you're going to need social media in order for you to drive traffic to whatever platform you choose. So if you are focusing on things to do with, I don't know, like YouTube, right? Let's say, for example, you're a YouTuber. You can maybe go into TikTok and Instagram. If you are more into writing, it could be LinkedIn and Facebook. So each of these social media platforms excel differently or work differently. People tend to love reading on LinkedIn and Facebook compared to watching videos. So those things might not excel. But you could also try Facebook as well, promoting your content on your Facebook page. Alright, so now on to the next point. Before I go on to the next point, one of the most important things you need to realize is focus on two of these social media platforms and one major platform, okay? So if it's a blog, then you could focus on TikTok and Instagram. If maybe it's a YouTube channel, the same thing. If a podcast, the same thing. And the reason for that is that it's beneficial for you to start with two social media platforms, because if you try to do too many things in the beginning, you could get bogged down. So with blogging, the best one is Pinterest and Instagram. Okay? With things like YouTube, it's TikTok and Instagram. And with LinkedIn can do well with blogging and YouTube, but it's also good for you to just test things out and see what works well with your niche, and then figure out which one you're going to stick with and which one you're not. Okay. All right, now we're going on to the final point, and this is all to do with monetization. How do you monetize your personal brand? Now, first of all, you got to figure out what niche you're in, okay? And then you also have to realize what are the best ways to monetize that niche. You could offer coaching and consulting based on specific niches. You could do digital products. Digital products are things like courses, ebooks, templates, but it also depends on your niche, okay? So, for example, if you're into the website design niche, templates are the best way to go. Templates and courses. Now, if you are more into how to build an online business, an ebook, and coaching, consulting, okay, right, plus maybe something like a course. So it depends on what niche you're in and what digital products you want to do, or if you want to do coaching and consulting. The thing is, when you're starting out, it's a lot easier to do coaching and consulting because that can literally be something you can do within a day, compared to creating a digital product that could take you anything from a week to a month. So it all depends on you as a person and what you want. Do you want to start your business now, or do you want to create a digital product? Like I said, it depends on you. It depends on how much time you have. It depends on whether you want passive income or whether you want an active business, whether you want something that's more robust or whether you want something that is more focused and localized. And one of the best ways to sell this is to just nurture your audience and teach them things for free. A lot of people are scared about teaching things for free because they think to themselves, if I give all my information, then I'm going to lose out. But the truth is, you might have 10 years of knowledge, and there's no way with that 10 years of knowledge you can break it down into 10-minute videos and give it all away. Okay, it's impossible. So you're always going to have reserves in the back of your mind. And not only that, but a lot of people will pay in order for you to break things down a lot easier for them than watching numerous videos that could take them too much time and they might not have time on their hands. Alright, so thank you so much for watching this video. If you haven't yet, please like, please subscribe so that you're always notified whenever a new video comes out.